Guys, this video is going to be a little silly one because I was sent some Would You Rathers and I haven't played that for a little while. So yeah, this one I think is like dating related, I think, with these ones. I don't know. I tried to like collect them together so that they would make a bit more sense. But we'll see. Okay, right, so the first one that I have is would you rather forget your date's name within the first hour, or call them by your parents' name by accident? I think I would rather forget their name, I guess. Because you could always figure out a way to like work it into the conversation. I mean, that would never happen to me. Like, I would not agree to go on a date with someone and just forget their name. Like, it's not really something I would do. Because I'm really difficult to get out on a date. Like, I don't like dates. I need to work on that. But so yeah, if I agree to it, I would not forget their name. But yeah, I would rather forget their name than call them like my parents' name by accident, because how do you come back from that? Like, that's really weird. That's a really weird thing. Most people said the same thing, so that says a lot. Would you rather find out someone you really like hates dogs, or find out they cheated on their most recent ex? I mean, either way, it's kind of a game changer. Not gonna lie. Because if I met someone and I really liked them and they hated dogs, I couldn't be with them. Like, I couldn't. I mean, I have a dog. He's my son. He is my fluffy son. So if they hated dogs, like, I would be really sketchy of someone that like hated dogs anyway, because it's like, where's your joy in life? I don't know. But obviously if they hate dogs, then they're gonna hate my dog, and that is unacceptable. So that would be a game changer. And also, if they cheated on their most recent ex as well, I would be like, I don't want to be on a date with you anymore. Do you know what I mean? I don't really want to date someone that I know cheats. You know, like, that's just completely unacceptable to me. I don't really know how you can justify that. Like, there is no way you can justify that. Like, that means that they have no respect for people. So, I mean, that's a really hard one, because either way, like I say, it's a game changer. I wouldn't want to date them anymore. So I guess I would rather find out that they hate dogs, I guess, because then I'd be like, well, okay, cool, but bye, pretty quickly. Because I think the ex thing, they could probably try and justify it, but like, I don't think I'd really want to hear it anyway. But like, you know, they could try. But with dogs, it's like, no. I'd rather just know that straight away. Most people said they'd rather find out about their ex, like them cheating on their ex. Crazy. Would you rather fall in love with someone who's allergic to all your favourite foods, or fall in love with someone who makes embarrassing dad jokes at every restaurant? Obviously the dad jokes. Like, what is wrong with that? I mean, it doesn't really matter if they're allergic to all my favourite foods, because I've like, a couple of my exes didn't like the type of food that I was into, and especially at one point, because obviously I had like a eating disorder at one point. So I was way more picky than I am now about what I would eat, and he just wasn't picky at all, but he didn't want to eat what I ate, if that makes sense. So I would always have to cook for me and then cook something for him too. So like, I'm kind of used to having to do that. You know, it wouldn't really bother me. having to cook 2 different types of food. But you know, but fall in love with someone who makes embarrassing dad jokes at every restaurant. Like, what's wrong with that? I quite like dad jokes. I think they're funny sometimes. I would find it funny. So yeah, I'd rather fall in love with someone who makes dad jokes. What's wrong with that? Wow. Most people said, wow, 79% of people said that they would rather fall in love with someone that's allergic to all their favourite foods than someone that makes dad jokes. Okay. Am I weird? Um, would you rather run into your most recent ex on a first date or run into both of your parents on a first date? Okay, I could get really dark with that one. Run into your most recent ex on a first date. I have done that before, and it was fine. It wasn't an issue. He didn't realise I was on a date though, and he did message me to see if he could come over and sit with me. And I was like, no, I'm busy. And then he came over anyway, and then it was just really awkward. Because I was like, I'm on a date, and he was like, oh. So that has happened to me before. If I ran into my most recent ex on a date, I think it'd be fine. It wouldn't matter. But to run into both of my parents on a first date, this is where it's going to get dark. I would rather not run into both my parents on a first date, if I'm honest, because my dad is dead. So if I ran into him, I think that would be a little bit worrying. Because it would mean hell is frozen over. um, but yeah, I mean, I would rather, obviously, like, answering it in a serious way, it would mean that I would bump into my mum while I'm on my first date. Oh, it wouldn't bother me. My mum's really laid back and cool. She watches my videos, so hi, mum points. But yeah, it wouldn't bother me at all. So I would rather run into her. Wow, most people said they'd rather bump into their ex than their parents. That's crazy. That's crazy. Why don't you want to run into your parents on a first date? Like, what is wrong with that? Do most people not have a good relationship with their parents where they'd be embarrassed? I don't understand. Anyway, would you rather have to wear a Halloween costume on every first date for the next 3 years? That probably wouldn't be many for me, would it? After what I just said about the fact that I'm really hard to get out on a date. Or be banned from dating for the next year. I mean, to wear a Halloween costume on every first date for the next 3 years, that sounds exactly something that I would do anyway. Because I love Halloween. Like, why would I care? Some people could argue that, I wear a Halloween costume every day. But, yeah, I would rather, be banned from dating for the next year. I mean, you could say that, like, I did that to myself for the last, like, almost 2 years. Because I just haven't really bothered. But I would rather wear a Halloween costume because that's so much fun. Like, why not? Or like if I went out on a date with someone and they turned up wearing a Halloween costume, I'd be like, oh heck yes. I'm way more interested in you now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I would rather do that. Oh, most people agreed with me. I'm quite shocked by that. Would you rather go on a date with a really hot person who only speaks pig Latin? Or go on a date with someone and realise they look just like your first cousin? Ew. Wait. I feel like Americans are the only ones that do the whole cousin thing. Not like that they're the only ones that date their cousin. That's not what I meant. I meant where they call it like first cousin and stuff like that. We don't. I've never met anyone that says that. They just say, oh, it's my cousin. They don't say, oh, it's my first cousin or, whatever. I don't really understand what all that means. So a cousin is a cousin. Do you know what I mean? But if you went on a date with someone who only speaks pig Latin, I think that would wear down on you quite hard. Because you'd have to sit there and try and figure out what the hell they're trying to say. And I just don't have the, like, mental capacity to be able to do that all the time. I don't have the attention span. Like, no. But I still think that would be less weird than going out with someone that looks like a member of my family. Do you know what I mean? Because that would make me feel a bit sick. It just would. Like, I'm not into the whole, like, I would date my cousin thing. I'm like, no, I think it's a bit weird. So yeah, I guess Pig Latin. Oh, most people said they'd rather go out with someone that looks like their cousin. Okay, you do you. Would you rather snort every time you laugh on a first date, or share an intimate first kiss after eating salad with onions, garlic, and blue cheese dressing? I mean, I probably would laugh like that anyway. Do I snort when I laugh? No, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I never really paid that much attention. But, like, that wouldn't bother me if I did. I would just find it even more funny, and I would laugh even more. Because that's just the type of person I am. But yeah, eating something gross like that and then, like, having your first, like, proper kiss, that would be awful. Like, that would be awful. Like, I don't think I would. I think I'd be like, no. So yeah, I guess I would rather snort every time I laugh. Why not? If they don't like it, sod off. Wow, 65% of people agreed with me. Would you rather have 3 flavoured condoms fall out of your wallet on a first date, or knock your entire drink into your date's lap twice? Now that sounds like something I would do by accident. I'm very accident prone. I mean, the first thing, like, I mean, I don't have a wallet, so I don't have a purse. Well, I do have a purse, but I never use it. I just shove things in my pockets. But mind you, if I was going out on a date, I probably would take a bag with me, I guess. I never bother with a bag because I'm so forgetful that I will leave it behind, because I'm just not used to having one. But for them to fall out, I don't know. That don't really bother me. I just be like, it doesn't mean anything, does it? It doesn't mean that, like, I'm thinking that it's gonna, especially not a first date. No. I mean, I guess that would mean that they would think that was on the table. So is that the angle that they're getting at there? Because, like, that wouldn't embarrass me. I'd just laugh. I'd be like, haha. Probably make a joke out of it. But I would rather not knock my date's drink into their lap twice, because that's, like, inconvenient for them. Do you know what I mean? That could ruin their night, because then they're going to look like they've pissed themselves twice. Although I would find it funny, they might not find it funny. So I guess the first one. Wow, most people said the second one. How rude. Like, they would rather not be embarrassed themselves. They'd rather force the embarrassment onto their date by spilling their drink all over them. That says a lot about people, I think. It's not very nice. Would you rather every person you date for the next 5 years wears sneakers that light up? Yeah. Or every person you date for 6 months ghosts you? Obviously the first one, because, like, what is wrong with that? Again, like, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with light up sneakers? They're cool. I would wear them. What's wrong with that? Wow, 67% of people said the same thing, so light up shoes are cool. Rude. Would you rather run into your date's most recent ex on a first date? Oh, they've flipped it. Or go on a date with someone who refuses to answer any questions about their ex? Oh, wait, what? So you're on a first date and you just ask questions about their ex? Is that a thing? I guess it is. I wouldn't really want to talk about their ex. I mean, I guess it comes up at some point. You know, you kind of talk a little bit about, like, past relationships. But, like, on a first date, if they didn't want to talk about their ex, I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, why am I even asking? I don't know. Run into your date's most recent ex on a first date. I don't have a lot of luck with that. Exes usually don't like me. I have issues with ex's new girlfriends not liking me, even though they've never met me. Like, it's just a thing that always happens. I don't know why. The only exception to that was obviously my best friend Shan. Because she, like, got with my ex and decided that, you know, she was actually going to talk to me and be civil with me, and, you know, now we're best friends. So she's the only exception, really. So I don't really have a lot of luck with that. So if I ran into, like, my date's most recent ex, it would probably not go down well, based on, like, past experience of, like, how girls react to me. I don't know why. Like, I don't even say anything, and it's just a barrage of hate. But I think, so I guess the second one, I'd rather go on a date with someone who refuses to answer questions about their ex. Like, does that mean ever? Or just on the first date? 'Cause, like, fair enough. But yeah, second one. Oh, wow, only 26% of people said that. Everybody else said that they'd rather run into their date's most recent ex. Okay. Would you rather only be able to speak in rhyme for an entire first date without giving an explanation, or have to recite the Pledge of Allegiance before each bite? I wouldn't be able to do that because I don't know what it is. So, I guess the first one? Speak in rhyme without offering explanation. I think that could be funny though. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it would annoy them to the point where they probably wouldn't bother with you again, but, like, it would be funny. That you can't explain it, you just do it. It would be funny. I would rather that than, you know, have to recite the Pledge of Allegiance, because I don't know it. And that would get really annoying for me as well. But, like, the rhyming thing could be fun. Especially if they join in, then you're like, oh, cool. You know, you've got another weirdo with you. Right, so I will choose that one. Wow, most people said the second one, Pledge of Allegiance. Oh my, okay. I think this will probably be the last one, to be fair, because there's quite a few, and I will split this up because it's a little bit annoying after a while. Would you rather go on a date with someone who does magic tricks the entire time, or go on a date with someone who tries to sell you Cutco knives at the end of the date? Ooh, what's Cutco? I'm guessing it's a knife company. I've never even heard of them. I think I'd rather go on a date with someone who does magic tricks, because that's fucking cool. I would love that. I would be sat there like, teach me. I'd want to know. If they tried to sell me knives at the end of the day, I think I would be a bit like, was this just a sales pitch? You went through all of this just to try and sell me knives? Would. I think I'd be confused. I think they're aiming at the fact that you would be concerned. I probably wouldn't be concerned. I would just be like, was that the plan the entire time? Like, what was the point? Do you know what I mean? It's weird in that sense. I wouldn't necessarily think they're a serial killer, which I think is what they're getting at. But yeah, I would definitely want to go on a date with someone who just magic tricks the entire time. And the magic number, 69% of people agreed with me. There you go. So I'm not that weird. Most people agreed with me on some of my answers, which I'm kind of surprised about. So yeah, that one was kind of fun. I might pick a different topic for next time, and split these up, because they're fun. Like I say, they are quite fun. Let me know if you guys answered anything differently, because I am intrigued by that. I want to know who answers these with the weird answers. Do you know what I mean? Although, mind you, I suppose some people would say that my answers were weird. But to me, you guys are the weirdos, not me. So yeah, tell me what you guys would have answered with and why, if you had any different. And yeah, you guys can send me these actually as well. There is a email in the link in the description now for sending me stuff to react to or answer or whatever. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I no doubt will do more of these in the future. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.